Thank you for joining Sports Development Series. We yours truly, Boma Ekiyor. Our Sports Dev Series is sponsored by Arewa Baobab Fruit Powder, one of the most nutritious substances on the planet. Get your Baobab Fruit Powder from arewabaobab.com. So, 3, 2, 1, yeah, what's up?
Hey,
Thadeu,
Boma. Hey,
come
Boma.
over. How are you?
Good, good, good. Good
Yeah,
to
come
talk to
over.
you, with your
Yeah,
guys. We're going well,
definitely.
going well. Here in Florida, we're doing fine.
You're doing fine. You're
Great to
living
hear
in
from you.
that beautiful warm weather in Florida. It's nice over there.
Well, yeah, it's good place to training too. Good place to prepare players. That's we have fun.
That's beautiful. Yeah, before we get started, I just want to say, again, Sports Dev series is brought to you by Arewa Baobab Fruit Powder, one of the most nutritious substances on the planet. The baobab fruit powder is packed with vitamin C, antioxidants. It's a natural electrolyte, and it's the most nutritious substance on the planet. Get your baobab from arewabaobab.com. That's arewabaobab.com. Thank you. So, Tado, yeah, man, it's been a while, but I'm glad you are on and good to have you on. And I think, most people don't, some people may not know about BFUT. Of course, I'm aware and I know of your work globally. But if you don't mind, you just go ahead and tell people, about BFUT and what BFUT does and how you contribute to development around the world.
Well, my story started like millions and millions of young kids. We dreamed to be a professional player. I had an initial opportunity, but didn't go too far. Play a little bit. Even that time we called professional, but you didn't make too much money and it was not the right track. And I ended up going to physical education, learning, because one of the biggest frustrations I could see at the time was I go every day to the same club with the same people and you never get information. You just gotta kick the ball or do something. And we are in Brazil and we won the World Cup. We are supposed to be, That's why I decided to change a little bit. I love the game and I went to physical education for 3.5 years. And during that time, I became from player. I was a physical trainer and player. And until I become a physical trainer for this club in a middle-sized city in Brazil. And well, from there, I had the opportunity to, after that, I decided to do a specialization at the time in soccer, and I went to University of São Paulo. And at the time, the head coach of the program was Claudio Coutinho. This is back in we were talking about 84, long time ago. The time that he went to the World Cup in before that actually, and that was a great experience. And came an opportunity for one student from this course to go to Europe to take the Spanish league, Spaniard league, their national course, and I had the opportunity to go. I was 19 going to 20, and that was an unbelievable experience to see how much you could transform the execution of the movements in something that you can help the players to understand what they have to do, use their intelligence. And it was the express that I could, the situation there was important. 2 weeks. Had the opportunity at the time. Cruyff was just started to coach in Barcelona, and he was coming with the 3-5-2, the ideas of the Dutch school, ball on the ground, double marking, double man, compactness, and it was great to be with these people in Spain. Try to rebuild the program. Let's put a futsal in every school in the country must play futsal, and see soccer as their national value. It was interesting. And when I get back to Brazil, I went back to this old club, and that's when I received opportunity to go to this professional club, São Paulo Football Club. There, I had opportunity to have like this big laboratory for 4 years. I could develop and work with a very high level of players, and some of it then, Silas became the national player. I mean, the captain for the 1990. We have a very interesting project called the time Menudos because of the singers, and the idea was develop the complete player. prevention of injuries, make sure they have to go good nutrition, make sure they had emotional support. That something was, we're talking about 40 years ago, but our biggest concern there was sport psychology. That today is one of the big factors to depress and no performance, etc., etc. Doing those 4 years was very positive experience, and but I decided to change directions and go back to do more study physiological. I had my center. I back to my town, and I ended up have opportunity to go back to the United States. Come to the United States for the first time in '86 to study injuries. Players that was having injuries of knee injuries, and a new technique was starting in Cincinnati, 1986. It was very interesting. From there, I ended up going to Boston University, and there I had 3 years when we went from as a graduate student. They gave me opportunity to assist them. We had a good laboratory of implementation of this philosophy, Brazilian philosophy, but based in this methodology of developing the education of the players. In 3 year season, under Neil Roberts, BU finished twice in Final Four, Division One. And we had there 17 countries, 24 players from 17 countries. How we could mix it then? The idea was these basic steps, this basic understanding of this methodology. If from there, after finishing the graduate school, I decided I would like to start implementing some educational ideas. After all these years working higher level, maybe it would be a good idea to start from the basic, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. And the country was just a boom. I ended up going to Iowa for my paperwork and visas, etc. I had the opportunity to go there and start a program. We cut the cornfields and start to plant the grass. And these 4 years, we could establish there the 12 months planning, when you divide the 4 cycles of 3 months, when you have an individual lesson plan, whenever coach has their they become an educator, they can help the kids to understand the why, when, how to execute all technical that, and become a very, very good, successful sport. From there, I decided to open an organization called Bruza. Under Bruza, the idea was BR, Brazil, USA, United States of America. The Americans, because we didn't have professional soccer anymore at the time, but now Dallas Cup was the big event. We had the college, but we didn't have anymore. This will come later, during the World Cup in '94. I know, but that was happened, and it was interesting. Was how many young players was interesting to go to Brazil to have the experience to train in professional environment and come back and looking for the opportunity maybe from US to go to colleges, or maybe opportunity somewhere else, or the vice versa. Brazilians would interesting to come here, get education through scholarship. And I did this for many, many years. And in doing this process, I developed so many human beings, great leaders, great people, and became a very, very interesting process. And today, what we are doing, after that, I became a BFUT in 2005 when I became partner with this company called Traffic, one of the big names in sport market in the world. And the time was, let's build a complete professional development. We created BFUT, that I was a partner with them. My job was identify young players all over the world, bring to Miami, make them great players. He put them to play for Miami FC. From Miami FC, we could export it to Australia, that was just started their league, and Portugal, that UEFA is getting. That was the original point. Let's develop players. Things went well for a year and a half, but Traffic decided to go to different directions. That later, even they are the ones that got involved. You have all that problem with the 2010, 2014 World Cup, illegal procedures. Anyway,
Yeah.
but anyway, I went to my side, they went to their side, and I continue my what you call the educational process for years and years, move around, work in many clubs, going back to Brazil. We develop it, write the books, do our manuals, create our tactical softwares, and promote the game. Going all over. I have been more than 45 countries. And like Nigeria, that I have been there so many times, because I mean 3 4 times I'll say, because the relation building with some people and with the federation we never could go through in terms of implementation, because so many factors. But being in different countries, and you learn about their social, cultural factors, the quality of the players, their intelligence. You see that everywhere you go, the results are similar. They comprehend that they are better players. They comprehend that they can do this more enjoyable. They comprehend that they can become more unpredictable. But everything is a process. And this process starts today when you are 3 years old. Let's go learn how your kids can run barefoot, do somersaults, jumping, be a kid, be a child. And this goes until you sign a professional contract. But in this process, our major key is teach the parents to be their educators for their children. Because you have a big gap between I am a player, I am a professional coach. A professional coach says, I am a person that can develop you based on my experience. I can make you better. Educator, no, I'm going to teach you how you do. No, first, why to do, when to do, especially how to execute. How do you shooting a ball? How the different phases, all these concepts I have been studying, analyzed all over the world for more than 45 years. I mean, we're very excited that now we're putting together all these pieces with this direction I take with the BFUT Institute of Soccer. Now, our major goal is we want to be a supplementary education for players. I need you never hear in the United States or in Canada in general to say, today we're going to do a functional training. What's a functional training? What's the function of the center midfield defensive? When you mark, when you cover, when you attack, when you defend, you know, oh, nobody never told me that. I'm supposed to go there and play as a system, but your system, you have to, what is a tactical scheme is how, okay, today, how the attack is going. We're going to use outside fullback going to the end of the line, cross to the far post, we're going to use inside, etc., etc. Now we're going to teach our players to how to do dead balls, to be effective in a long cross, to be effective in individual penetration, learning how, do what you call tactical combination. All those things can be in a very slow educational fun process to be developed with the players. But our major key, like I said, is educating the parents that are going to have their children. That's why one of the things definitely is important for me to talk to you today is about this level 3, this introduction level, where we bring this 44 years of experience and analyze so many people helping us with their suggestions about how we can make it North America a country where soccer can be seen as a fun activity. I enjoy the time, becoming more social. After games, we don't go home, and who cares? We go somewhere and we get together. Our kids grow in having true friends. And, soccer is in more than 212 countries. And from ages 6 to 10, 60% of those children, boys or girls, their first sports organized activity is going to be soccer. Look at the impact, the number of people you can touch it if you use the right sport. I mean, besides all the technical, tactical, emotional, or nutrition, whatever you want to talk about the athletes, more important is what kind of behind of lead we're putting behind this successful player. That's the key, because one kid can change 10,000 lives if he does well. I mean, I think everybody has their social responsibility, especially in a world today that's so little unstable. I mean, talk about environment, talk about the basic rules to mean how you save, be more economic in water. You don't need to buy 6 pair of shoes. You don't need to have 16 cars. You know what I mean? All
Yeah.
those maths we have to do today. You cannot wait for tomorrow, because our generation, we got something for sure. We still have a planet. Our next generation, we need to make sure that we continue this. Anyway, that's a little bit about what the foot is and what we do today. We have a center of training in Juno Beach. Juno Beach is an hour and a half, almost 2 hours south of Orlando, that has Orlando City. And we are an hour 15 minutes north of Inter Miami. That's in Fort Lauderdale. those are the two professional clubs that normally we expose, we develop, we help players to have their opportunity. We are in America. I mean, you have to do that. Our kids, their dreams should be play for MLS teams and one day play for the national team. I mean, who cares what's going to happen at the end of this mission is, play for the Olympic, but we needed to make sure that to make our league more effective and more substantial to bring a message to our kids. Anyway, back to what we do. When you have a beach, we have a hotel, we have our fields for training, we have a classroom, we have our fitness center. I mean, we have separated different facility units that we have our restaurant that provide all kinds of health meals or athlete meals. And you are in a great environment that you can do this 12 months a year. And we are, normally we interact our development educational process for 1 week or 2 weeks for a month. Even the student can come here for 6 months to a year, be a F1 student and live, play with us and try to have opportunity, like we said, in college or be a professional player. Anyway, that's what we are today, and very excited that you have a chance to share this with the
No,
educators.
Thadeu, thank you for coming on. I've known about your work for quite some time, and I think you do phenomenal work. There are even people I know, coaches, respected coaches in Nigeria that I know who have said really good things about the work that BFUT does for development. So absolutely, and I definitely encourage you to continue the work you're doing. I think it's really
Thank
good
you.
work. Yeah. In what you were saying about development, one question came to me: how early do you start youngsters in the technical development of football? Sometimes you see, like you mentioned, I know I saw a study that said the United States has the highest amount of youth male and youth female players in the world. Um, but something happens along the line, right? If you have the highest number playing the game at a young age, but by the time you look at the numbers of top quality players that are produced and the countries that have the highest number of players exported in the world, I think Brazil and Argentina are number one and two. US is not ranked even in the top 10. Even Nigeria outranks USA. But in the initial stages, the USA has the highest number of youth players. Something went wrong in that process. I don't know if you want to talk about that as well.
Um, you brought a very important point. You don't have to have an age to make your child to become an active person, no? Active child, run, to do what you call the 7 human beings movements. How you somersault, how you run, how you jump, how you uh, uh, do so the walking, etc. Because of the society, especially these last 2 years with this problem with the COVID, um, we became even more inactive child, more inactive person. We need a car to go across the street. And what's happening is our basic body coordination to be a normal human being is being degenerated, has been changing. Our limits of changing direction, have a little level of agility or a little power to jump, etc., is tremendously impeding in situation where we need a review. That's why our educational program starts when they are 2.5 to 3 years. They come barefoot, they come with their parents or adult person, and we teach them to how run forward, backwards, somersaults, kick the ball a little bit. The only reason we're doing this is we are educated the parents to get their child, go home. You do exactly the same a couple of times a week and integrate, make this a social activity. At the same time, you make your child healthy. Doesn't matter if it's going to be a soccer player or not, health. And you use the little ball, like I said, but if you're going to do what you call and following the USSF recommendations, let's talk about, I know we are in Canada, but let's use USSF as example. The under 5 year, if you have a child that's 78 years old should play with the number 3, should play 7v7, um, 7v7, under 10 is 9. No. They'll be playing 6v6, sometimes 5v5. We don't have something organized yet. The more is for under 10s, the under 12s, the 7v7, the 9v9.
As nine
When,
players aside, 7 players aside, 5 players aside.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. I mean, the under 5v4 and 3 with a parent, that's what we are using in our institute. I mean, we start to work with the children, they are under 4. We have 3 children and an adult person play together. They learn the triangle, they learn the diamond, how run outside, but naturally they'll do that. It's you are giving them the opportunity to learn more about themselves, to challenge themselves in the movement. And you have an adult back there, like a little center defensive guy. They go right, they go left. It's fun. Anyway, for under 6, we move them to they go 4v4 with a keeper plus, but no adult. And when they turn under 6, we start the futsal, the little number 200 futsal. And now we start to do the 5v5. The futsal under 6 go all the way until under 18. We teach 3 years of futsal that are critical for what you are asking me, technical, and the technical tactical part naturally in play. Futsal is the key, the 5v5 with the keeper.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what you do.
And let me ask you about that. You talked about Johan Cruyff and the Barcelona system, and when he was developing the I guess the ideology for football in Spain.
The 3-5-2. I mean, he
Yeah, the
was
3-5-2. And you said that the Spanish Federation made it mandatory for everyone to be playing futsal across the country. And I think in Brazil it's the same thing. The futsal is very big, right?
futsal is the only sport we have from ages 5 to 10, 11 years old.
In Brazil?
In Brazil, 80% of the kids, boys and girls, will be playing futsal. That's the
Well,
key.
and
Brazilians are so technical. We don't have
yeah,
space. We don't have space to play, and everybody wants to play.
and in Spain they do the same thing.
They started to do many, many years ago, to the
So that
point that they even became national champions now.
yeah, they did.
World champion, world
Yeah,
champion.
yeah. So that explains why they get so very technical. They're good on the ball. The first touch is good.
One of the reasons. The second reason was every corner. Now, if you have a basketball net, we have a futsal net under now. Every kid now go there and or using their hands or using their feet. That was a second point. But the third one, the critical was, let's organize a methodology. Let's create a system that it can be everybody can share, learn from each other. And I was happy to be observing the environment. And the way they did was a little different because when you are in Spain, it's a small country, no? And you have, well, of course, you have Catalonia, Madrileños fight every morning, but each one of them has consistency of teaching and the country backup. And that's why the high quality, I mean, you see, coaches from Spain are hired right now to many countries. This used to be Britishes, used to be the Dutches, used to be the Germans, used to be the Brazilians. Now, Spain has been in the market for many, many years. No? As the way they're doing very well. They respect, they talk about it's something that we need to respect, you know.
So they do you say the consistency of methodology. So they try to make sure all the coaches that are under the federation in the country understand the most basic level of knowledge that they need to apply in teaching the players. So if you have a country, you just can't have specific people say, oh, I'm a coach and I'm going to train players. They have to go through a system to be educated on how they should coach. And that way, you know that all the coaches around the country are teaching players.
Some way consistently, correct.
I see. Yeah.
But you have to put in consideration 2 points on this description. Is the country, if you look at the positive side for both ways, the country tried to give a minimum requirements for somebody to go there, get the direction of your child. That's a very important deal. And and you have so many other factors that you need to be careful. Some adults sometimes get too excited. But the other point is, if you know that the level of consistency or the way they're going to be teaching is positive, you want to put your child there.
Mm-hmm.
But here comes the point here. And remember when you asked me about the problem in US, it's similar in Canada. We have unbelievable organized take care parents volunteer system. Unbelievable. They'll do everything for their child. When they are putting their hours together, they're putting a very big organization with the kids, with clubs, with 1,000 kids, 1,500, sometimes even 6 or 7. Bigger is the club, the more name you have. That should be the opposite. I don't say they are doing wrong. Don't take me. It's just the way it should be structured. And the game lost a little bit. I don't say a little bit, a lot, in terms of the way, the methodology that was implemented at the time to make a decision what direction go. We have our own methodology. Americans are smart. We need to put the ball on the ground, the diagonal pass, switch point of attack, minimize the touch, be unpredictable. We don't need the Dutch or Brazilians or Americans or English or nobody tell what to do, what to have to do in terms of education. I'm not saying about system. I'm talking about the way to teach.
Mm-hmm.
One second big problem we have, we don't train against goalkeepers. We train against cones. Our development, the environment to teach a child has to be similar to, close as possible to the game condition environment. We are super good in 4v4 plus 4 around, very much the tiki-taka of Barcelona now, or we're very good at, we need to use everything that's positive, but create something consistent, a process, a growing. I'm not going to teach a child at 6 years old the same curriculum I'll teach 7 years old and 8 years old. Some concepts are similar, but you have to have a vertical integration on the concept. A little more. And how do you do this? Having the levels of education, each level provide a little understanding in sport management, sports medicine, sport nutrition, sport medicine, prevent injuries. 30% of our children, Canada and United States, from the ages 9 to 13 will be going through growing pain. How many kids are losing their way to play because they just never nobody told them about the importance to have a minimum elasticity in 10 group of muscles. You understand? It's basics. That's what we put this course together, it's level 3 online for $60 to tell the parents, your child is much better. But just give your child some tools or some understand about what actually they should be on the field versus you being one side requires something and the other side, the coach requires something else. We start with 100,000 kids when they are 6 to 7. By the time they're under 11 to 12, drop to 30,000. By the time they go to 13 to 14, they go to probably 10,000. When they start to drive by themselves, we get this 100,000 probably become 2,000 because they can drive by themselves. From these 2,000, they have to work. They have girlfriends or boyfriends. They have to do something else. They are doing track, and it's pretty expensive. What's happening is we are not getting quantity to develop the final quality. The other point that you have is the clubs, because they depend on the money, it's a big business. They hold the good players. Everywhere in the world, you are proud to your club produce a kid that's going to a big club. Okay, and of course you get the 5% developer helper for the club because you have been working for. Here, the USSF, now MLS, has been taken over, is the clubs must get paid for the work they do. The way the clubs can start to decrease a little bit the monthly cost for the players. It's too expensive. It's a medium upper class soccer here, plus the volunteer job hours, plus this. My points that I'm bringing this to you is the final one is if a club is doing well with his team is an under 15 player, but that kid is so talented that could go and make the Inter Miami, Orlando City. I'm talking about Florida because that's my environment.
Yeah.
More often. They don't do it because the kid goes, They start to lose games because the kid left the team. Now they cannot win games so well. Now during the next tryouts, probably they'll lose some because they are not winning so many games. And now they lose the money. And now the kid could have a chance, never had a chance to go. And the system needs to be a little different. The clubs needs to come back to the local clubs, say, look, thank you. Here we are. We did this, we did that. 5% is back to you. If the clubs start to see as a possible revenue, they can motivate the coach to work hard. And that's the way the world is. And do another thing is in terms of development is the clubs start to have some extra revenue to pay some costs versus parents costs all the time, you know. At some point, simple to fix it. Like in Spain, if you get let's go, you get a futsal goal, you put every court in the United States and Canada. We triple the number of kids playing. We 10 times will be better players. What cost it to any derby health instead of be doing drugs or play video games or get sick? They are on the court kicking the ball. What we are losing there? No. In other words, are the 5 very simple attitudes that could really change a little bit the games in North America. Okay.
No, it's a valid point. I think it's something I've seen. I've studied those two countries as well in their development, and you see the difference in the quality of players and the technical skills of the players that get to the highest level. Speaking about Brazil, what are your thoughts about Brazilian football? What it was compared to what it is today? Brazil. For me, I've always been a fan of Brazilian football. But you look at the players today, even the leagues. You look at it. Flamingos. I remember back in the Vasco da Gama. You look at the leagues and the football teams. They seem to have gone down. Not like before. The quality of players. What are your thoughts about that? Being a Brazilian coach and you worked at the highest level there as well. What do you think about the level of development in Brazil today?
We are going to a phase, is a positive phase. We're going to plus. Lead by, every country is led by their national federation. Went through some tough times 3 years ago, 2 years ago. The new group that came with good intentions, and looks like that we're getting a better direction. We are more organized in terms of championship. Even with this year, with a World Cup coming in November, you are able to, you have partnerships with sponsors, calendars for cups. We have there the Brazil Cup. That's like Lamar Hunt or something similar here in North America. I mean, it's like the British Cup, where all the players from different ages play. That's one event they have to develop during the year. They have the Brazilian Championship. You have the South American Cup. You have the South American Cup. You have the States tournaments. I mean, you play 64 to 70 games sometimes a year.
Wow.
Yes, I mean, it's a lot. It's trying to balance everything has been positive. I can say that. It's better today than 2 years ago. Better. People start to get back to the stadiums. We still have a little problem sometimes, sometimes people get too excited, but it's more safe. It's a better environment. The clubs are getting more organized, putting better stadiums. The teams are doing. We went through very tough times in terms of sometimes you have to lose to gain. Brazil Confederation didn't put it too much attention, develop it. Actually, people that could develop it, get a better conscience, be more serious about the school back 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Parreira was the guy that always lead that. Let's make it this, establish it there. But in Brazil, we have right now is the levels. We are still thinking too much level C, B, A. The 3 top levels are professional. We're not going back to the 6, 3, 4, 5 years old, like here, and start something else. In other words, the same results are getting overload kids, slow, no coordination, parari, parara. I mean, the process is similar.
Yeah.
Now, what's going to happen in Brazil is, and we have a good relation. We're putting a good laboratory there with a club called Mirassol. Mirassol is today is a top 10 club in developed players for Europe market. It's doing an amazing job. Finish the under 20 São Paulo State in second place, beating Palmeiras, some big clubs. I mean, they're doing very well. That's where is our laboratory. That's where we send international players to go through to their final step before we put it down in professional clubs. We talk about that.
Yeah.
But why we need to put it down? Let's back to Brazil. What's Brazil has? So let's go back to the educational side. What Brazil has something unique is because of the futsal, because many options of entertainment to a low class that are the ones that many times comes the great athletes, because the situation there, Brazil is still producing. But one great thing that's happened is Brazil finally start to invest money and look a little more at the young ages, under 5, under 7, under 9, under 11s, under 13. They're creating models for, and that's going to be very positive. But back to Mirassol, we get a player from the United States. Let's say we just signed one kid there. His name is Gabriel. Gabriel played the last 4 games, won the 4 games, 12 points, is doing very well. But he was an American kid in Boca Raton, no chance to go anywhere. Now he has a Portuguese, he is a European, American, and Brazilian passport. He can play or work in 3 different continents, environments. This means this is a player that has a huge opportunity to go everywhere. That's what we're looking for. Good players don't have opportunity to go yet. We don't want to damage. We're support 100% MLS. I think MLS is the success. I think I hear that maybe they're coming with MLS amateur league, where all the teams all over the country will be playing amateur, but they'll be great, because it's hard for us to have the selection system. And the selection system is reducing 64 to 72 academies.
Yeah.
Is a lot of times the clubs are losing money, 10, 15 million a year, sometimes more. I mean, it's hard for you to maintain the standard that is required, and etc. But back to Brazil. United States is going to be unbelievable market for soccer. It starts on December 16 when the Qatar World Cup ends. Everything comes to Mexico, US, and Canada. Unbelievable opportunity for us to make the game to grow, make our kids go back to work and learn, etc. The idea we are having is we needed to produce a faster thinker, smarter players in America to understand. That's why they go to Mirassol. Normally, I bring 3 to 4 players a month. They spend 30 days work with the first team. And during those 30 days, they can get an offer to become a professional player.
I see.
Or maybe not. But when they return here, what's happening in this environment? The mental speed. Here we have time to receive the ball, stop the ball, heads up, look for an option, find the option, and deliver. Could take 2 to 3 seconds. In that environment, you have half second. This means if you don't learn to make a decision before you receive the ball, and you know exactly what's the decision you're going to make based on one of the 6 situations to score a goal, you are in trouble. When they go back here, when they come back here, what's happening? Their mind, their competition level, their understanding of the game, their mental speed has been increased a level. They become a much more effective, better player. But we don't need to send to Brazil to create this environment. We can create it in the United States. How? Getting our 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, kicking the ball, passing the ball, shooting the ball against the dead, against somebody in the goal. We need direction. Our kids need to learn how to score a goal, know how to pass the ball. We're a passer. The goal is north to go east to west all the time. That's one of the big factors we have. I know I'm talking too much, Boma. I'm just
No. Listen,
I just
I love.
an American with a grandson. That's an American grandson. That's he's under two right now in preseason.
No, but look, I love it. I love it. You know, I can listen to you all day. I love it. Because it's a valid point. You know, I look at Brazilian football and I have to ask, what's going on, because they made so much. I mean, compared to where they were, I think good players still come out. But when you look at I guess the generations have changed too. The players that come out are a little
look,
different.
look,
Um,
you go to Rio de Janeiro.
yeah,
There are big centers where the kids come to play. You are going to find their agents, scouting, looking for 11, 12 years old to give opportunity, a job for the parents. You go. You are not going to find a diamond every 10 kids. You're going to find a diamond every million. But they're
wow.
taking all the diamonds, all the diamonds. 14. Look how many players from Brazil show up from nowhere somewhere. You understand? Because two reasons. We cannot maintain the financial advantage to go there. A lot of those players, they definitely need the money because they have been grown by a mom, probably the dad somewhere. But the mom that really is there working hard to give the son opportunity to become a player. And the second part that we see happen all the time is uh, we have agents controlling their lives too soon. And in America and Canada, we have parents taking care of their kids. That's a difference.
Uh,
Many of the kids play good soccer here. The parents do this because they love them, not because they expect to make money on them.
yeah,
If
yeah,
the money comes, it's always nice. You go to a good college there. I have a good example. My son went to Butler University.
yeah,
Was going to cost me 140,000 for 4 years education. Ended up costing me 12,000. That was a professional contract right there. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I know
That
what
we
you mean.
did. It's today has a college, has a good job, happy. He gave me a grandson. Soccer through no professional, but through college, made him a professional.
Yeah, created an opportunity for him to be able to. Yeah,
That's it.
the thing is, how would you describe the system in Brazil? So you have
You,
if do the players come up through an organized system? Is it academies, professional clubs, and
this
then
is
move up? Or
this is a good point. Let's put it the full system.
yeah,
The full system works. Every city they have their soccer schools. They hire people. They have their fields, 2, 3 fields. In there they develop 100, 200 kids. The
yeah,
best kid from there go to the professional team from the city. Could be first division, second division, third division, because the kids live there is easier. When they get to the professional club, normally start under, they stop to work too much with the under 13s. One is under 13s cannot leave the club. It has to be under 14 and older. In Brazil, you can make a professional contract when they're 16, but they are
oh,
only going for 5 years. On 21, they're free agent.
I
What the
see.
clubs do, they hold it then until 18, 19. The way they can get a first contract when they're older. But now you see this kid from Palmeiras, 15 years old.
Yeah,
He has a 60 million red on the table. He
really? From
go
who? From
from
who?
you're talking about Liverpool.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
As Liverpool once rebuilt something there, and well, the kid was the best kid around 96 teams, and the 2001 was the oldest age. He impacted people. But my question to you here is: now he's leaving probably too soon. He never be able to grow and play, compete. He have the experience to get a little more mature in development, but he has a lot of money, but he jumps some steps. If I am the club manager and I need money, definitely I have to do. But when you're doing this, if you can replace, bring maybe 10, 12, 20 kids, similar conditions, now you create the perfect system. We used to do this in Sao Paulo. We had to go all over because we used to do discount. We didn't wait for too many people to bring kids to us. We used to go there. I mean, I used to go each 2 months once when we alternated. We go there 600, 800 kids in 2 days. From there, we select them to a week. We gave them room board and they stay in the club. If the kid will make it, they come and not leave the club. That was very effective because we have direct access to the players. Today, the kid is 13 years old. He's shooting the ball a little bit. He has 16 agents, and it cost $1 million. I mean, the level of the game it went so down, but the cost went so high. Something's not right here. Anyway, that's the only thing is happening. If in the FIFA organized this, when they said, no, we don't do deal anymore. I remember I hear an agent tell me he was agent, this good player, went somewhere, I think for Barcelona anyway. He sold the 200% of the player.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Okay, I'll sell 20 here, 20 there, 30 there. And that's what FIFA said. As from now on, this helps a lot to organize a little more
Yeah.
what's going on. But in Brazil, that's what we have. One big challenge we have in Brazil is hold the parents. Parents sell their houses, they gather their money, they become their kids' old agent, interfere in their lives, and the kids give up by 16, is gone. The father committed suicide
Oh
sometimes
my God.
because all his life was on the kids'
Wow.
performance.
Wow.
Yeah, imagine the level of pressure.
Yeah, yeah. You have
Yeah, but
to
sometimes we get a similar pressure up here, you know?
really for
Yeah,
college.
in US. Oh, did you see this girl from Stanford that she committed suicide? Pretty intelligent, one of the best schools, the best player in the world in the year,
Really, soccer player?
soccer player.
Why? What?
Why? Why? Because the same happened with the girls from gymnastics during the Olympics. It's
I know what
so
you
high
mean.
expectation
Yeah,
that you can even think about.
yeah.
I feel sorry. It's too much.
No, it's very sad when you think about this. Like
Yes.
at that age, they should be enjoying
But
themselves.
what shocked me was it's a collective sport. I mean, soccer you have 11 players to blame on. Me, you get some, but somebody else did some. If for
Yeah,
some reason she decided to go away, I was very sad, very sad. Anyway, who knows?
yeah. I've seen those sort of relationships with parents and their children, um, and it's really trying to make it fun. Because if the child feels like he or she is having fun playing the game, then they're gonna want to do it all the time. If you make it, if you make it a chore, you yell at them, yeah, you have to do this, I'm going to take this away. Then they're going to want to do it. Then they feel the pressure. Then it just takes away from,
That's why we lost so many. Remember, I told you we started 100,000. There are
yeah,
six to
yeah,
seven. They ended up less than 2,000. They are going to under 19.
yeah,
It's high expectations and because you love your child, you want to make sure
yeah,
you do for your child maybe what you didn't have. And that's very understandable. That's why if we start early ages to teach the parent to understand what's the game's about, what the child can be, I guarantee we're going to make it this unbelievable improvement in keeping
yeah,
more children in the game. And of course, better quality, you know.
yeah. No, I agree. And they play the game longer. They play it for fun, so they do it a lot more hours.
Stay longer,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah. I agree. I agree. It's
Let's
it's
play.
it's,
Let's
it's
play futsal on the parks. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah. No, the
solution.
futsal piece is very interesting because futsal is fun. And if more people play it, you're right.
The
You
ball
develop
never
it.
stops. It's
Never
20
stops.
goals. Everybody's attack, defend. Yeah. Basketball defeat. Yeah.
No, you're
That's it.
right. You're right, Thadeu. Thadeu. How many guys train with BFUT right now?
In the Villa professional level, I have around the 12, 11, 12. You cannot go more than 15. It's too
Yeah,
much work. See their games, analyze what they need, have a conversation, make sure the parents, club, kid is happy. Is something required. And I prefer to do myself. I don't.
yeah.
In
And I
huh?
I I I don't know if you want to and you have some international players that you currently deal with as well
Those are
now.
the ones. Those are the ones.
Okay,
Right now,
okay,
I have the captain for the Irish under 16. Dan is one of our players.
okay.
We have right now two at Mirasol. We
Well,
have
So
another.
so wait, the Mirasol thing. Um, So if you have a good young player, I think you explained this to me when we talked on one time on the phone. The Mirasol, the player can go to Mirasol, compete, get further development, and it also is an opportunity to get scouted, right?
That's exactly the process. And when
Yeah,
he's there, we try to get everything we can in terms of footage.
yeah,
He's playing, he's doing this, he's doing that. The way he can actually be in a very high level competing, but at the same time, that's me. That's the level I can play.
yeah.
Do I feed your needs? That's the idea. Is not only provide experience, but make sure people can see what they're doing too.
No,
Okay, that's
it's a good opportunity. It's a good
yes, and it
opportunity.
works for under 15s, under 17s, under 20s. The maximum number of players, because they work with the 23 players, 24, plus our international goes to 27, 28 players, and it's 18 going to the game. The
Yeah.
player go there for 30 days to be training full time, eating, sleeping, stay at the center of training. It's very nice center of training. You can see our website. Uh,
What city is it in again?
it's Mirassol. Mirassol is
Mirasol,
3.5, 4 hours away from São Paulo.
São Paulo.
And it close to São José do Rio Preto. That's a 400,000 city. It's a very nice city.
Yeah,
Mirassol is the small town. What they decide to do? The city is the club. Everybody is 100% support, help the kids. It's something very nice. And the owner of the club, the people that own, they really care for the community. It's nice.
yeah. So
And
you get together, you fly into Sao Paulo, and then
fly to São Paulo and fly to Mirassol,
to
to São
Mirasol.
José do Rio Preto. The parents will pick, our staff will pick the player up. If the parent wants to come and see, stay a few days, we have a nice hotel and see the day by day. The players are going to learn five things: social, cultural. They're going to learn what's a professional environment, what's the day by day, the different people that part of the process. Is going to see kids that their life is there, or that's it. Second part to be the technical. They are going to be demand extremely high level technical. Okay, they need. That's why a lot of players they come to me first before they go because we need a 10 days, a good preparation. Now come the tactical. You are going to play a much faster speed. It requires much faster decisions under high pressure. The level of competition is guaranteed is listed triple, three times more demand, and you're going to understand, oh, I got hurt. What's the process? How we treat you? Oh, I am not feeling up. You're going to understand in a day by day what's a professional club, what's a professional environment. Maybe the kid can say, oh, I'm a good player, but I decide I don't want to go to that kind of experience. I want to go college. No, no,
Yeah,
I like it. I want to continue. Oh, it's so talent that is steady. Now what the club does offer you opportunity to come.
yeah,
What Mirasol has been doing this last year, Mirasol has been producing for the European market. He sold this past 2021 $11 million
yeah,
plus another 20. It's $30 million business. The team is playing, is going moving to second division national. The under 13, 15, under 20 are playing very well. In other words, you create what you call the channel of production. You get the youngers, make them more experienced, put them to play a higher level. They get better, we hope, support everything. Now we bring them to compete for the professional level or the Copa São Paulo, the under 20 national tournament. From there, boom, Atlético Paranaense, Corinthians, Palmeiras. A lot of players are going to those clubs. From those clubs, that's the bridge to send them to a better environment. But what's our very interesting here? Get the kid from Mirasol, you bring back to play professional with you. Remember, we talk about at MLS.
yeah.
MLS USL is going to need a lot of intelligent players. And I guarantee these kids are going to be, and good people, and good people.
No, absolutely, absolutely, man. Hey, we've come around the hour mark. Definitely, you and I, we need to talk. I'm going to invite you back because I could talk to you for more hours. I know we have
Yeah, me
limited
too. Me
time,
too. That's good, good.
but absolutely, Tadu. Thank you for coming on, and I look forward. Do you want to share your website
I
for
would
BFUT?
like to, if
Yeah,
somebody would like to go, is www, no, BFUT, B as in boy, F as in Frank, UT.net, BFUT.net. We have a full program for the summer. If anybody from Canada or anywhere interested to come for a full week, we have indoors and we train on the beach. We don't train outdoors too much during the summer. It's kind of hot. But we guarantee a good functional training, a good tech development, physical, technical, will really make the players really improve. That's something I recommend. Or tour. They can come as a club. We love to go to Canada to do our methodology. We can work from players from 5 to 11 or 12 to 16. We do half-day camps. We do day camps. We want to share ideas.
And the camps can be can be done in any country. I know you're open to going to a lot of different countries. So
correct.
Yeah, but definitely. Well, thank you so much, Thadeu. Good seeing you again. And
God bless you. Very nice to meet you guys and the group. And Bom, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, man. Thank you so much.
Man. Take care.
God bless you guys.